Welcome to Cup of Joe.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another special edition. Is it a special edition?
Is it a special? I don't know.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday's Cup of Joe, everybody. That's what it is. My name is Ira Bowman. My co-host Joseph, Joe the Finance Guy Stepke. And by the way, all the expressed opinions on this show, whether written, verbal, or otherwise, are from yours truly, Joseph Stepke, Bowman Digital Media, Joe the Finance Guy, and not the expressed opinions or otherwise of SEMA Credit or
Rent-A-Center.
Rent-A-Center.
You got to say Rent-A-Center now too. So yes,
now we got that out of the way. We can say whatever the heck we want. Joseph,
right?
How you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm actually trying to get it up on my phone for the LinkedIn part. So hold on a minute, so I could go
make your fancy comments. Yeah.
Yeah. So yay, I did it. I'm happy.
We got somebody trying to advertise in our comments.
Well, that's just great.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Femi, don't do that because I'll block you, and then you'll never be able to come in our comments ever again. So just keep it cool, man. I don't mind like a little bit, like especially when we're talking about something you want to advertise, but just to spam us, you're not who we're looking for. So if you want to be like us, then treat people like people. That's why Joe and I get along so well. We were actually talking about that in the green room today. This unauthentic stuff and this phony. I'm going to make 15 fake comments every time somebody posts that. I don't feel that.
Hey, listen, I said I only did 9. I did not say 15. My God. Man.
I draw the line. I draw the line at 10.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You cannot talk about that LinkedIn stuff. Or is that, can we?
No, that's anywhere. I don't care if it's Facebook.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Wherever.
All right. I just want to make sure. I didn't want us getting, next thing you know, booted off of LinkedIn Live or whatever. And
I got to tell you, June is quickly becoming one of my favorite peeps. Let me tell you why. Okay, so June, she was talking last night. She's got a side hustle where she does lavender and something. And June, you have to remind me because I'm getting old. My brain isn't quite there.
I got to bring this up so I could see it better on the screen. Okay, now
she has a garden and stuff or something like that. She's growing this stuff, her herbs and spices herself. So like she not only has a side hustle, like she produces so I think that's awesome. So good morning, June. I hope you have a great day too. Thank you she was on my show last night with Alicia, right? 8 is enough.
Oh, awesome. Good.
And she's on here. So thank you for the support, June. Here we go. Streaming from Nairobi. Welcome to the party, my friend. What time is it in Nairobi, Dominic? And Al, good morning, my friend. I miss going to the ocean. I live like 40 minutes from the ocean and I miss it. I haven't been in quite a while. In fact, I haven't been since the new year. So
Well, I saw some people in Portland trying to go to the ocean yesterday, and oh man, you got another guy advertising on here.
Yeah,
That's probably not good.
that guy's gonna get blocked here in a second too.
I would
Knock,
probably
knock that
I
off.
can you put out if anybody does have a business page to put it in, like put their link to the can we
Yeah.
say LinkedIn business page? Are we allowed to, or
Yeah, we could talk about LinkedIn. I just can't coach people how to use it.
remember, I'm a little fuzzy
No,
on
I
that
mean,
whole.
LinkedIn isn't afraid of me saying their name. They just, like they don't want me spending a LinkedIn live session teaching you how to increase your SEO or, edit your profile or, strategies.
Gotcha.
So
That does make sense.
that's the line, right?
That makes sense.
I'm a LinkedIn coach for any of you who don't know. I know a little bit about the platform, but I'm not allowed to teach you about it on here. Now, one of the reasons why you should be joining Joe and I on Saturday mornings on Clubhouse 1 hour before this show starts. On Clubhouse, I can. So if you have LinkedIn questions and you want to ask me directly and get a free response, join us on Clubhouse. The green room starts 1 hour before this show kicks off live. So it starts at 9:00 a.m. Pacific time and 12 noon Eastern time. And you can time adjust for wherever you are. But whatever time this show starts, just 1 hour before it on Clubhouse. Now, we didn't talk about this morning. I have 3 brand new Clubhouse invites fresh in my Clubhouse box this morning. So if
Now,
you're
invites for what?
For Clubhouse. So if you're on iPhone and you need an invitation to Clubhouse, let me know. Right? I might be able to.
I understand. It's the lingo. I get it. The Clubhouse invites. We got 3 fresh ones. I think I got 3 new ones too. I didn't look.
So they're growing because
Yep.
like everybody else has had all these invites. This is my first new ones. I've invited 2 people to Clubhouse so far. Both joined, but apparently that wasn't good enough because everybody else was like getting them. I'm like, well, I'm on Clubhouse. I'm using Clubhouse. I'm moderating rooms. I don't know, whatever. Lavender and vanilla. That was the thing that I forgot was the vanilla. Isn't that cool? I think that's super cool.
Lavender and vanilla.
Yeah, so it's like
the smell.
Yeah, she puts them together, and she weaves them together or something like that. She can explain it. Anyways, and she sells them, I think, on the side of the road. It's like a side thing. Anyways.
Side hustle.
Yeah.
Side hustle.
I respect people who work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put in the effort. I totally respect it. So even these guys who are up there doing their spam thing, I kind of respect the fact that they're at least trying to get their name out there. I just don't appreciate the way they do it because, that guy's not watching the show. You know what that guy's doing? He's going through his feed and he's just spamming every single person with that same comment. And I don't like that.
Right. Gotcha.
That's not what social media is about. That's not being social.
No, not at all. Please, if you can, follow Joe the Finance Guy, the business page. Thank you. All right. Sorry. I just wanted to do that really quick this morning.
Yeah. Has anybody not done that?
No, I was trying to.
If you haven't followed Joe the Finance Guy yet, where are you? What are you doing? And I'll say the same thing for Bowman Digital Media. Like, I mean, okay, maybe we should spam our own audience a little bit here. All right, hang on. I'm gonna grab the links.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, while you're talking, I was gonna say something. You talk about side hustle. I got to talk about my wife for a minute. We know your wife does Scentsy.
Yeah.
Jen, or Catwoman, if you would. She sells linens for like graduations and weddings and all that. And that started when my oldest daughter got married 3 years ago. And it just started, she was doing that on the side and like getting these things. So when you get, I guess, whatever it is, like linens for weddings, mostly you rent them. And when you rent them, they cost so much. But when you buy it, it seems, it's cheaper. You could do whatever. You could even resell it. Well, Jen was reselling or just selling them at less than what you could rent it for. So it was awesome that she was doing it. Her thing, it's on Facebook. It's called Set the Table. But so she does that. She started buying these I don't know. They're called Loungefly. Loungefly. I gotta look it up. I think it's Loungefly, and they're like backpacks or something like that for Disney, like
Well,
Disney. And,
find it and send me the link, and I'll share it on my screen so we can.
all right, I found the Google Pics, or like I just did a Google thing.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it in our private chat so you could do it. But she, this is just a link. It shows a bunch of them. Well, now she's getting them, and some of these are worth a lot of money. Like she's got a couple Loki ones that are just. So upstairs, you know how in the back cave here I have all the.
Does this go to her, or is this just anybody? This is just random.
No, this is just anybody. I mean, I just was putting it up there. You want to know what it looked like? So.
Does she have a business page herself?
No, she just started it because she started getting these, and like the one Loki one or the Maleficent one she has, I think it's like $300-400. I mean, crazy stuff. But she's collecting some of them, and it's going to be in our bedroom that we're going to get like a cabinet of some sort with different shelving, so she can put it in there and display them, which I think is really cool. So it looks awesome. But I can't believe. I guess this is the next big thing. I guess I don't know.
I don't know, because I remember having cartoon backpacks my whole life. I don't know what the difference is because I'm not.
Well, that's what I thought too. However, I guess these are cooler, and
well, they probably are.
But they're more for.
Hey, no matter what, if Jen's doing it, we're going to support it.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I did. She did say something to me. I forgot what it was.
Check that out.
Love it. Thank you.
That's the Facebook page.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did you know that you could follow Bowman Digital Media and Joe the Finance Guy? You can follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook. And guess what? We're also on
YouTube
and Twitter and Instagram. Basically, we're social media whores.
Oh my gosh! Did you have to go use the W word? Come on.
You know where I got that from? I got that from my old buddy Mike O'Connor.
Yeah.
That's where I learned that expression. It's funny, he doesn't like me anymore, but I still have all these things that I learned from Mike in my mind. So, anyways, that's one of them.
Good man, good guy.
It is.
Good guy.
Yeah. I mean, he decided
social media. I don't look at myself that way. I don't think I am.
I actually don't. I don't either. And it goes to what I was talking about earlier, my frustration, right? And I want substance. I want to be substance, right. And I make posts. I don't care what platform it is. I'm trying to either educate or entertain. Correct. 100% of the time. I don't just simply take other people's stuff and put it out there with nothing. Now, sometimes we do take other people's, and you're doing this really well. You're taking other people's videos that are funny or interesting. You're branding them, and then you're sharing them, but you're also putting a post or message out with it. It's not like you're not just taking that video and resharing it and hitting submit. You know what I mean? Right. You're adding something to it. I'm cool with that. I think that's very smart. What I'm talking about is the people that are simply just taking somebody's motivational quote and that's their post. Or they're not even telling you, they're not even giving people credit for who said it. Like when you see, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna pull up Instagram. I just want to show an example of what I've done, just so people can see like what I'm talking about. So check this out. Okay, so this is an example of what I do. It's different. I've learned to not take anything for granted. That's a quote, but that's an Ira quote. That's like something I said. You know what I mean? Like I didn't borrow that from fill in the blank. Anybody you want, Zig Ziglar or Tony Robbins or Bill Gates, Albert Einstein. You know what I mean? You see all these quotes from folks. They're using their phrase, their quote, but they're not sourcing it and saying, hey, this was this was the Albert Einsteinism or a Teddy
Right.
Roosevelt or whatever. And they're just putting that out there like, oh, this is my motivational whatever. I was like, no, dude, you stole that.
Well, that's funny you should say that. I did a post. It was the one I did the other day. I'm going to try to bring it up because it's the one that I did with the guy painting.
He
On
did,
there.
he did several, and both of them were fascinating. The one is where the tree is like disappears, and the other one he blends it into the grass or flowers.
No, not that one. I'm talking about the one where it was the man and the woman together. It was like the Valentine's Day type. I was trying to do something like the togetherness of the Valentine's Day one. It was the one I did just
that yesterday or the day before?
It was
2 days ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did it. I sent it out the night of Thursday. But anyways,
I'll find
the quote I use behind, and I used to say this all the time. They with my wife, they say behind every great man there's a woman, and while I'm not a great man, there's a great woman behind me. I looked that up because obviously I knew I didn't.
First of all, that's not true. Let me just be the first one to say, Joe Stepke, you are a great man.
Well,
and I read that post wrong. You know, I wrote a comment, and then I don't normally do this. I deleted it and I rewrote it because I was like, I thought what we were going to do there in the comments was highlight somebody of the opposite. You know what I mean? Because the way you wrote it, it was like it said partner or something. So I'm like, oh, you know what? The most supportive person of the opposite sex for me on LinkedIn, and I stand behind this 100%, has been Paula Goodman. She has been with me consistently for 3 years. She does not make a comment on every single post. She's got a life, but
well, and she's going through some issues now too.
Yeah, technical issues. Right.
Technical issues. So
right. So, but Paul and I are like, I call her maple syrup, and she calls me apple pie. Okay, like we have pet names for each other. We're kind of like brother and sister, if you want.
No, that makes sense. I mean, she's my master Jedi word poetess.
Yeah. All that stuff, right? Like so when I read that, I was like, hey, this is an opportunity to shine a light on someone in a platonic way, right? But who supported you. And then, of course, I put my wife in there. I didn't want my wife to get jealous. Like, hey, what about me? But my wife supports me, and I put this in the comment. Like everything other than basically social media, my wife is my champion. But social media, my wife doesn't do much for me. Like, you know what I mean? She thinks I'm nuts, honestly. Like she never saw any of this happening. Like, how do you make a living doing this?
Right.
She knows now. I've shown her how, but you know what I mean? So my wife, she's coming
It's
around.
Amazing sometimes what they say. Well, I knew I didn't do that quote. And this was a chance for me to learn, as a matter of fact. So I copied the quote. I put it in. I found out who said it. It was Merrill Frost. Said this when he was awarded the Most Courageous Athlete Award in 1946.
There you go.
And I thought I thought it was great when I saw that. And I go, man, now I changed the wording a little bit. Behind every great person, there is a significant other behind them, making them better.
Yeah.
Which is very true. Jen has pushed me.
Oh yeah.
She's my, I know that song, Cheerleader or whatever. I can't remember who sings it. And if any of you out there know it, please put it in comments. But that Cheerleader song, it's not Jason Derulo. God, I can't remember who. But she is my cheerleader. She is the one that has pushed me to get to where I'm at. And that's how come I'm very indebted to her like that. And I thought it was a great time to do the post, but I love watching these guys do the art and taking something normal.
Let's do this. Let's do this while you're talking. Keep talking because you're going right where I'm going. So
so taking something normal and just doing something different with it. It's amazing. Yeah, like this.
Can y'all see this? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I do graphics for a living. Like I create graphics from scratch. And, I take other people's stuff and manipulate it too. Hang on a second. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So
yeah, I was going to say, make it a little bit bigger.
What I've been working on here is converting photographs into pencil style, right? it's not actually drawn with a pencil, but just, creating that. Because I've been able to do for a while. There's filters in Photoshop where like you can do mosaics, and you can add so it looks like it's a canvas painting, or it looks like on fiber paper, and there's all kinds of cool things that you can do. And I did a post. In fact, do I still have my Instagram up? I think I do. Let me see here. Yeah. So let me back down. I did one like this. You know what I mean? So this is like a filter effect in Photoshop. I'm changing the contrast, and I was playing with the lighting, and anyways, I did a lot of stuff. If you saw the original photograph of this, it looks very different. Anyways, so I play with photos all the time. But what you're talking about with these videos that you've been sharing, these painting ones, I'm fascinated by them because I'm into graphics. I design these graphics for a living. Anyways, so I appreciate the art that's represented in the videos that you're sharing.
Right. I'm telling you, I think it's amazing. But
well,
I like that one of Alicia right there too. That one that you showed of Alicia. That was good.
That was one of my favorite ones I've done in a long time. And actually, I didn't think my wife was going to like it, and it turned out she loved it. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool.
See, that's a good thing. I'm looking at. I'm trying to do.
Erica Warfield is saying you could manscape that area near your top button.
Probably.
There's really not much I can't do. I will tell you this: be very careful what you believe in photographs, right? In video or in photos, it is so easy to manipulate the photographs. Are you taking a picture of that comment?
No, why would I take a picture? No, I'm trying to get my LinkedIn thing back up on my phone again.
It was like, sometimes when I'm on with people, like Kelly Robinson is famous for this.
Oh, are you going to talk about when we were all on with Scotty and I was working out in the back? You guys I got him on video.
I didn't do it. Great. I actually texted you and said, "Hey, just so you know, we can see you."
I know. Well, and I was on, and I remember I answered and said, "Listen, I know Kelly wanted me to keep the thing on."
That was your boy trying to cover your backside, which we all got a great view of your backside when you walked.
Oh, whatever.
You stood up from where you are right now and showed us your derriere as you walked back to that. Now, I give you props for working out while you're doing it. I think that was a great use of time.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. I love Scotty Schindler, and and here's. And
Erica was on that call. She knows.
Or she does too. So what I did, and you can't see it from here. So I took that Zoom call that was right here on the Mac, and I transferred it over to the 50-inch Roku. Hey, Damon, 6 inches of snow. 6 inches of
snow, bro. I don't even know. You know what I think of when I see that, though? Do you remember that?
Sledding?
I think it's 16 Candles. I think that's the name of the movie. But they're up. It's John Cusack, and it's the 80s.
No, it's not 16 Candles. Better Off Dead.
That's the one.
My God, what kind of person are you?
Now, first of all,
you want to talk about pop culture? Give it to me, baby.
Right. Sorry. You watch more TV than I do. We know. Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. That movie, Better Off Dead. My wife knows. Right. That's the one where they go, "Give me my $2. Give me my $2."
Yeah, I want
one of the funniest lines. But one of the funniest lines in that movie. Okay, his buddy in the show.
I can't remember his name, but it's Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
Right. That guy, he's trying to snort everything he can, Jell-O and ice and all this stuff. He's like, "Do you know what the street value of this mountain would be?"
Oh my God!
When I see like snow like that, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. But that's what Erica's got it. I want my $2.
I want my $2.
That kid would have died.
I want my $2.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that was hilarious. But what I did, so going back for a minute, I took everything over and put it on the 50-inch, the Roku, because I could do AirPlay on there. I mean, we're talking about some Iron Man stuff, which I thought was the coolest thing. So all 3 of my monitors were playing the Zoom call, and I just got on the elliptical, which is fixed, by the way, that thank God after 7 months, thank you so much, Icon Fitness, who wouldn't give me a new one. I had to wait for the part to come in, but whatever. It finally gets fixed, and that's why I decided I'll just work out and do that at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so for me, I've been doing more of that. So I'll do like turn the camera off because I don't want people to think that I'm not paying attention. You know what I mean? So
I started to.
So I turn the camera off and I do some stuff. I'm gonna disagree with Kelly. I don't know what her thought.
No. I know what the logic was. I text her and I go like this. Listen, I'm not being disrespectful. I am paying attention. I'm going to work out, just to let you know. And I turned off the camera and she goes, "Oh, just turn the camera back on." And I knew what it was because I think about when we had that Zoom call and she was getting her hair done and I was making fun. Remember, I was taking the pictures and everything. I know when she did it. I'm all good with it too. So I was fine with it. I just said, "All right, I'll do it." And I'm not embarrassed. It didn't embarrass me. I don't care.
It's all good. But we haven't seen what she's going to make out of it yet. So,
well, that's true. But whatever it is,
I'm presuming there's something coming.
There's no bad publicity. So I'm good. I'm sure there is bad.
I don't know that that's true. People do say that. I know that.
But
I know that's a popular saying.
Well, for Joe the finance guy, go ahead and make me more human out there. I'm good like that.
Right. Like that actually wasn't that big a deal. I think the only thing that I wouldn't want personally is
my big dairy air, I guess, as I turned.
It looked huge because it was like the center point on the camera there for a minute.
So Joe the finance guy has got back. So I'm okay. OMI. Thank you, Sabrina. OMI. That's it.
Sabrina's my buddy. I'm gonna hire her soon. She's gonna be my virtual assistant.
Is she really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
We already talked about the payment and all that stuff and what she's gonna do. So she's got some stuff she's squaring away, and then when she's ready, she's gonna start with me.
I want to let you know it's matcha tea.
Okay. Does it taste?
Not a cup of Joe today. It's matcha tea.
It must be awful because it's served up in an awful cup.
Oh no, it's really good.
This is
my daughter.
And in full disclosure, this is the sound that you heard when you thought I was peeing.
I know. I thought you were going to the bathroom when it was boring. We were in the green room. I'll tell the story. We're in the green room and we're talking on Clubhouse, and next thing you know, I hear like it sounded like somebody was peeing in the bathroom.
It was water. It was water dripping. Oh wait.
Well, yeah. What?
Hang on a second. I got something.
It wasn't like water dripping. It was more of a flow. You didn't have a prostate problem, so
there was a good flow.
It was a good flow, so which was great. It was going on there, and I heard the rattling. Then I go, if I didn't know you were making coffee, I'd swear, we're way too close. You cannot be doing this.
Oh, and totally true. Okay, wait, hang on. Check this out.
Yeah, but it didn't sound totally like that.
It was kind of that sound. Now
it was that sound, but it was more like if I didn't know you were making. If I didn't know you were making coffee, I swear it sounded like you were using the bathroom. So that's where
I made this video. When I made this video, my kids, everybody thought it was awesome. My wife comes in and goes, "That makes me gotta go pee."
Well,
sorry.
It could happen. It could happen. That's all right.
I was super. There are moments in your career, everybody's career, where you feel humbled. You know what I mean? Like this was one of those moments. So for those of you who don't know, Joanne Gore Communications, she does a lot of the same things that I do. It's a marketing company. So, but she doesn't do design and video. So she asked me, "Hey, would you do me the honor?" She paid me to do my video intro outro. And I said, "Heck yeah." I actually made her two. So I made her that one. Actually, I'll just show you the other one too. I made her.
I gotta ask: is the meaning of the cup filling up? Is that she's going to give you so much knowledge in there that it's going to fill your cup?
No, but
I mean, that's what I think
I
of.
like that, but actually, the thought process, it was actually behind the water. Is that water is life and it's refreshing. So that was kind of the idea. Like, she's going to bring your marketing campaign to life. That was honestly
either way, guess what? I just gave you another one. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Prego.
That was the metaphor. The metaphor I was going for was life. So
okay, gotcha.
But here's the other one.
Prego.
So I did this. I did this one for her too. And what's funny is, oh, you guys can't see it. Hang on. When I did this, I did this one first, and I did this one first. I wasn't sure she was gonna like it. You know what I mean? Like,
I like it. I like the Lauder one better, but I
think most people actually like this one better. And anyways, whatever. I mean, the point is, I did the stuff, but the one, it was like I had done all these like cool, almost 3D-ish. You know what I mean? They're not, but they come across as 3D type graphics. And then I wanted something that was fun for her and showed like that. Again, if you really want to dive into it, it's like, I take it from one and move it to the complete other. So you're not getting good results. Now you're getting great results. That was the thought process.
Gotcha.
That design, my first design. So, I always have an idea in mind. Every single one of them, they're different, but like there's a theory behind it. Like yours, I was trying to emulate, comics because you're a comic geek. So
I don't know where you got that from. I'm really not.
Right. So
I actually don't know anything about comics.
Well, and then the other one, I don't know anything about comics. That's what made it so funny. But the other one, what was I trying to do is actually highlight your hashtag, right? Be educated, not sold.
Oh yeah, be educated, not sold.
Because I love that about your posts. You're not just trying to say, hey, just
trying to sell people. I'm trying to actually educate people.
Yeah, I like it. So I love the hashtag, and I want people to follow it. So it's
it's weird talking about Jill. The more like this week has been. It's been a very interesting week. As you know, I'll share with the audience.
For those of you who are not familiar, there it is. Be educated.
Hashtag be educated, not sold. And what I would tell you or begin to tell you is that our pet of 14 years passed away on Monday. You know about this, Ira. So I wasn't going to. I know. I understand that. I might as well bring it up because I think I talked about this on the Ladies Go Live on Wednesday when they had the men on that you and Nick were supposed to be on too.
I feel so bad.
Whatever.
I couldn't quite get it. I'm sorry, Liz.
I got you. It's okay.
It's 7 a.m. and she knows. She jokes with me all the time. She's like, Ira, you're still working when I get up in the morning. Well, she's in London.
I held my own. I mean, it was me and Lewis and Lynn, Paula, and Liz, and we were on. And Damon came in for a little bit. And I know one of the questions were, how come men? I think men commit suicide. I got to go back. And Liz, if you're watching this, I apologize. How men might hold things in or keep something about suicide is more brutal with men, whatever it is. And I said something because sometimes as the man, we have to stay more, we have to stay strong for the family. So when
we have a veneer that we wear that we're indestructible even when we're not.
Well, true. Right. On a serious note, true. On a joking note, no, I'm always strong. I got my armor suit on all the time. Right. So anyways, Sunday, our dog Nikita, who is an Alaskan Malamute, beautiful dog, 14 years old. It started shaking really bad. I think it was Saturday night, Sunday. So it was almost like our living room was almost like a room in a hospice. because we had to change the paddings and everything else, and we knew something was going to happen. I kept thinking that no, give the dog some aspirin. It's probably arthritis. It's cold. That might be it. Unfortunately, I was wrong. And Monday, I was doing calls in the morning, and my wife came down and said, "We're going to have to go to the vet, and we're going to have to we're going to have to take her in." And I grabbed, we had to pick up the dog. She's a heavy dog. Picked her up, brought her there. I had all the girls with me. My boy did not. He went to school, but all the girls were there. Even my oldest came, and they were saying their goodbyes. And it was, it's hard because I took off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to support the family, but it was hard. It's like an empty feeling a little bit, and I know it's a dog, but it's
family.
When somebody's with you for
that's 12 years,
any amount of time, it hurts. And this is now we have no more dogs in the house. We had Magnus passed away on my wife's birthday. Gosh, 3 years ago on her birthday. And she's the one, and he couldn't move at all. We had to take him, and then now Nikita. But anyway, so that was Monday.
What a way to start.
Yeah, what a way to start the week. We were just all hyped up then. No, we weren't. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, I started, how do I get my mind right? Because I was upset. So I dived into LinkedIn, doing my posts and really focusing on there.
Called your buddy Ira?
I called you.
Nothing like getting teased by your best LinkedIn buddy.
Yeah, I know. That just makes me feel so much better too. No, I really needed to get my mind off of that. But I had some great conversations this week. There were some, great conversation with you, with Liz and Lynn and Paula and Lewis on that show, and Damon too. Nick Dorsey called me on Wednesday, and he called me in the morning when I was in the middle of PT, and I answered the phone. My daughter was looking at me. Why did you do that? It's Nick. I got to ask him. He just started a new job.
Is that potty training?
Right. I wanted to, no, not potty training, physical therapy or private tutoring, whatever you want to call it. So, only had 2 in my life. It does hurt when it is.
That's what stops a lot of us from getting another dog. That it's funny. You have a very close connection with pets that you keep for a decade or more. You know what I mean? They really do. They're like your They are your family. They're not like
Magnus was mine. Magnus we got. He was a little white. To tell you the story about Magnus, not Nikita. Thank you, Candy. I thought it was a great discussion too.
Let me tell you, Candy is one of the best people on LinkedIn by a million miles. She is over there in the UK, so she's in Europe. It's hard for her sometimes timelines, but she is an amazing person. If you don't know Candy, you got to connect with her.
Connect with Candy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we could fit Magnus in the palm of my hand. So I was working at Rentway at the time. One of the big three that I worked for. And when we were working for, when I was working for Rentway, my wife came in with this dog going, I got a dog. She thought I was not, like I was totally against getting a dog or whatever. And it was just her, myself, and Cass at the time. And one of my friends, John Clark, him and his wife, Lori, bought the dog. So this was meant to be a joke. So they brought it in and they go, hey, look I bought this dog. And I went like this, oh my God. Now, little white ball of puff, American Eskimo type dog. And I immediately went, my mind, because I was into X-Men too, or I still am, but X-Men, I go, oh my God, Magneto, white hair, Magnus. Oh my God, this is beautiful. It's Magnus. And so I started hugging him and everything. my wife had to go back out to John and Lori in the car and go, I'm going to have to buy the dog. Joe fell in love with it. So we had the dog ever since. And I love that. I mean, Magnus was an awesome dog. I'm even getting teary eyed just thinking about it because
I'm impressed that you want to do this, honestly.
Yeah, he was great. Magnus was great. We had him. He lived for 18 years.
Wow.
18 years. I mean,
crazy.
But we got Nikita at I believe it was when he was 10. Something like that. I remember looking at my wife when we got him and I go like this, why did you get Magnus he's not even dead or gone yet. I don't know how I would feel about bringing some big other person and I think girl or whatever in the house to live with us. This is just wrong. And I was so against Nikita being there. They really became close. Nikita would protect Magnus. And it was just awesome. Like their relationship, they never fought at all. And she always protected him. And just the two dogs were great. When Magnus passed away, that hurt me. And then now Nikita, I had to have time. So going back to like what we talked about Wednesday, after all the girls, my wife, everybody was crying and they injected Nikita to, how she went to sleep or whatever. They left to go out there and I stayed back in the room and I had my moment because I didn't want them to see me. I want them to know that Dad's got that shield.
Yeah.
A little bit. They know Dad's tough, but not tough because I joke with, if there's comedy, if there's a joke to be made, I'm making it.
Oh, we're going to make it. Appropriate or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you there's some jokes in the house that they just look at me and go, you're kidding me, right? And read the room. So
that's what I'm trying to teach my son. So honestly, I have a 16-year-old son. He's funny. I mean, he really is. He is funny, but sometimes it's not funny in the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh, and then, there was one, I forgot what happened, but whatever it was, I can't even remember the comment. But my wife came in and go, did you hear what your son just said? And I start to snicker. And because, I like Family Guy. I like all those things, like the way Seth MacFarlane thinks is probably how I think in my mind as well. So that's how come I think it's funny. So when something like that crazy comes out, I have to stop myself and go, all right, this is serious time. How dare you say something like that?
I have to do that too. Yeah. At times I'm like, I can't believe I'm scolding my child for something
I would have done.
I would have done it. I would have totally done it. And I hear my dad all the time.
Yeah. I go upstairs.
I hate it. I get it.
I go upstairs sometimes and it's like a feeling of, like almost like panic, but admiration. I don't know it's always like, gosh, that's my boy. All right. When my daughter, now the funniest one in the family, hands down, is Sierra. She's the 15-year-old. She has my sense of humor. She has the dark sense of humor, and she is so quick. I think she's quicker than me. But
that doesn't take much, actually.
So. Oh my gosh, yes, it does, because she beats me on jokes. I'm telling you.
Is the same thing you say?
Yeah, about 3 seconds. I think she's quicker, like about 3 seconds than I am. But it's funny, like if I'll start something, she'll go, yeah, this, Dad, this, we don't need this right now. And just some of the stuff that she comes out with. And her and Logan were going back and forth at each other last night. I picked her up. I think she had like pep band or one of the band things. Logan was in the car with me. We got Chick-fil-A. And Chick-fil-A. It was. And we were eating. And they started going at each other. And those two are, if I haven't said it before, they're like Irish twins. One's 14, the other's 15. They're 361 days apart from each other. So they're very close. I mean, very, very close. But it's just funny watching those two and like dueling pianos back and forth. It was hilarious. I finally had to say, both of you, stop, please. I don't want, and they wouldn't fight, but it was just funny the quips that were coming out of each other. I was going, oh my gosh, I created monsters.
I created a monster.
And those two are, I would say those two are the closest to me because of how they are. I like hanging out with them. The older I got, the more I loved hanging out with those two.
I haven't had that yet. My kids hate me.
Well, my kids probably hate me too at times.
I'm the authoritarian. You know what I mean? Like
I am too.
My wife goes, "Don't make me tell your father." You know what I mean? Like I'm the heavy. So
well, that goes back of it. It depends. Which is an adult diaper, mind you. But what I mean by it depends.
I was not going to go there, but yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's all right. I get mad at, like, if I yell. See, they all they hate it when I'm yelling.
Yeah.
You know, so if I get mad at something where it's like that, but I get what they say is that you get mad over the little things and that maybe we shouldn't, and maybe they're immune to it a little bit. They just hate it. But like some of the big things, I talk through it with them.
You'll let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, not let it go, but I talk through it.
It's cumulative, right? So, you know, just because you've hit your tipping point and now you're gonna okay, we need to correct this. It doesn't mean it's just from that. And I explain this to my kids. I'm like, look, I've watched you all day disrespect your mother, or walk past garbage on the floor. It's like, you know what? You see it there, pick it up.
Right.
And for us, there are so many people in our house. Like it's crowd control a lot of the times.
You're right.
So my wife and I pick our battles.
That makes sense.
But I had to explain to them, like, look, this elevation of frustration is not necessarily just because of this one thing. It's because of the past. So.
I gotta tell you. So I learned something from my son yesterday. So we go to
Wait. Saturday's Cup of Joe for parenting advice. I mean, really, we could talk about anything.
Wow. Yeah, you could talk about anything. And I'm not saying that's good advice or not, but I'm in now. My wife calls the Black Buick Enclave we got.
Keeping it 100. What? We're keeping it 100 here.
Yeah, we're keeping it 100.
No one here said that Joe is perfect. No one said. Perfect.
No, I
don't think I was perfect either. Like we're not perfect people. Trust me.
I know, but we're in the Enclave. I didn't take the Batmobile last night to pick up Sierra, but we went to Chick-fil-A to pick up food. And
what's your favorite thing at Chick-fil-A? Just
the Southwest chicken salad.
Salad.
Shut up,
Joe. You're not a rabbit. You're not a rabbit.
Well, unfortunately,
I'm gonna tell you, my favorite thing there is actually the waffle fries. Like I could just eat those for days.
Now we did get those too, but that's beside the point. But anyways, I'm in there. It was taking longer than usual. It really was taking longer, and so we pull. Yeah, to get the food today. It wasn't
fast food.
No, it wasn't. Not yesterday, and it was late too. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we pull around, and we're waiting. There were 3 shakes, for the kids or whatever, and I guess one girl was making them, but there was a couple people, and I know they could have had another person on there. So I started getting upset because people were getting their food behind us, but not getting our stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just mad. So Logan knew what was happening because I started to get elevated to my highest level of festivity.
That's that temperature thermometer rising. Right. I gotcha.
And I go like this. I'm not pulling up. If he asks me to pull up, I'm not pulling. I'm going to say no. I'm saying no, Logan. And he goes, Dad, don't do it. And I go like this. Yeah, I got to. And he actually, 14 years old, diffused.
He talked you down.
Yes, he did. He goes, Dad, it's all right. It's only shakes.
I need that. I need help with that sometimes.
Well, the kids. So Sierra gets in the car afterwards. He goes like, "Yep, Dad almost blew up at the at." I don't know why he called it Kyle. He like because that wasn't the guy's name, but he almost blew up at the Kyle at Chick-fil-A. And she goes, "Oh, let me guess, you didn't get my food right, or it's taking too long. Oh, let me speak to your manager." They're starting to make fun. It was just hilarious. They joke about it, but they also knew my triggers to talk me down.
You're not the only one. The last time I was able to go anywhere, right? COVID 2020, man.
Right.
Where have we gone? What have we done? We had a family reunion scheduled for 2020 in Utah over the summer. And a lot of people were going to be coming from all over the country. Well, obviously, it ended up being canceled because people can't travel and get together in mass and all that stuff. Well, Utah at the time actually was low incident for COVID. Like they weren't restricted at all. You didn't even have to wear masks in public in Utah at the time, which fascinated me. But anyways, I digress. So we decided, because it's a drive for us, not a flight. And, I had already reserved the rooms and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to go. I don't know if you guys remember my journey, but that's where my van broke down.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
The day my van broke down, we hadn't eaten yet. And for those of you who don't know, like, I have to eat. I have low blood sugar. If I don't eat regular, I get cranky. So I am cranky because I'm hungry. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning at this point. But the van got fixed. I was so thankful because I called every mechanic in, I say the yellow pages, but on Google, yellow pages, whatever that is, right? Right. So I Googled mechanics near me. Every one of them was closed. It was a Saturday. Every one of them was closed. So I'm thinking at this point, we're going to be stuck here until, at least Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to have to pay for more rooms, and I'm going to have to rent a car, which is tough because I don't know if you know this, I have a lot of kids, so I can't just have a little car.
It's not just a car.
I've got to rent a full-size van.
You got to do a van.
You know what I mean? And I don't even know if one's going to be available and all those things are going through my mind. But I called my mom because we were supposed to meet for breakfast, and then we were going to go. We were going to go on a scenic drive over a mountain, and I love it. So, anyways, it was going to be a great day. My car wouldn't start. I was in a bad mood because I hadn't eaten. It's 11 o'clock anyways. I'm just prepping the story. I go to McDonald's. We've all been to McDonald's a million times, right? I mean, people pretty much know what you want, but it's breakfast time, not lunch and dinner. So I'm
sausage McMuffin with egg, no cheese.
Well, what I'm asking everybody, what do you want? You know what I mean? Because I do the ordering, right? So I make sure nobody gets forgotten, because that's what happens if I don't. Somebody won't order and then they don't have food. So I go up to the counter. I go up to the counter and I say, they were showing their lunch menu on the video screens. I'm like, do you have a menu for breakfast? We want breakfast. And the kid across the counter looks at me like, no, man, we don't have menus. I'm like, okay. So they have those screens, those smart screen things that you can go see. Well, I go over there and they've got them turned off because of COVID. They don't want you touching them. I get it. But at the time, remember, my van just broke down. So I'm not necessarily in a great mood. So I go, how can I see what you guys have for breakfast? And he goes, well, you could go on the app. And I go, that's a great idea. Thank you. So I was happy. So I go download the app. I show all the kids, all 55 people. Well, I get everything all squared away. I go up to the counter to place my order. Now I've been at this McDonald's now for about 20 minutes. Okay. Placing my order.
All right.
The first three things I asked for, they don't have it. And I'm like, why the hell would you send me to an app to get a menu and then you don't have any of this shit? I was so pissed.
Oh my God.
So anyways, I said, just tell me what you have. And the kid's like, he didn't know. I don't know if he was new or whatever. So he said, can I speak with your manager? I did that. Now, at this point, I'm just trying to still order. Anyways, the manager comes over and says, I don't know what to tell you. Here's our menu. I'm like, all right, never mind. We're going to leave. Well, you don't understand that. First of all, I was probably not being very friendly. The look on my family's face was horrific. Behind me was my sister and her best friend, which actually I call my sister, my mom had come in. So there's like people in this McDonald's that I know. And I'm like, all right, family, let's go. And we just emptied that place out. We went across the street. There was a store. I bought donuts.
Wow.
I have lost my stuff at people before. I'm just saying all that to say
I
that.
get elevated to my highest level of festivity.
Well, I tried to let my wife take over. I didn't tell you the whole story, but anyways, I tried to let her take over and let her process the order. I'm like, you know what, just skip me and I'll get something else somewhere else. I was pissed off, but I wasn't going to leave without the food.
See, Jen, if Jen does it, first off, if she gets upset with something, she won't eat it. She won't eat the food. I'm usually the one that does it, but I usually, the kids know there's a couple sayings that I'll start with. You know, like one, I'm owie. Because I don't want to say I'm pissed or whatever. I just listen, I'm a little bit owie right now.
I've heard you use that expression before.
Yep. I want to tell you, and I got that from Mike Kessler, another mentor of mine a long time ago. I got a lot of things from him, a lot of sayings like I'm owie, every day's a holiday, which is a Marine type thing, but it's still he was a Marine, that's why I came from him. But anyway, so I'm owie, I'm elevated to my highest level of festivity. That was something he said, and I loved it, and I've used it ever since.
I like it a lot. That is
I know. I am elevated to my highest level of festivity. So my kids know that. Or the classic one that I got from Denzel Washington in movie from Philadelphia.
I love it. I love Denzel Washington, man. He's super good actor. Jason Ricks, did you know that I used to be a vendor for the Fertitta brothers? They own a series of hotel casinos in Vegas, and I used to do work for them. They also happened to own the UFC, or at least they did at the time, and I did some work for them as well for that. But yeah,
I'm going to do something. It's 12:57. I hear them doing it, and I'm going to see now. My granddaughter, we're watching her today.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I just asked if she was up because she's not feeling good. And I asked Tori to bring her down here. So I wanted her to see, like, right before we leave, I'd bring her on there.
Do you know who Katie? Do you know who Katie from
Chicago?
Chicago is?
Now, you know, I am from Chicago originally, and we might be connected. Not offhand, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, Katie.
Well, and the picture's not showing up, and that's not her fault necessarily. StreamYard.
It showed up on here.
Oh, did it
for me? Yeah, I see it on there. I see. Oh no! Nope, I'm wrong.
Well, it's showing up as Annalise.
Emily's lit. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Anyways, StreamYard is having a problem for some reason. They're working with LinkedIn to get it fixed where the pictures aren't always coming through.
Gotcha.
I'm actually seeing most of them, but that's one I'm not seeing. But anyways, sorry to interrupt. So go ahead.
No, I was going to see if she'd bring her down.
Yeah, you're going to bring your grand.
I was going to see if she would. She hasn't answered me back, but
that's all
right. Real quick. But anyways, the other saying I was going to tell you that from Denzel Washington. Yeah, Philadelphia is explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old.
Oh, I need that.
I love doing that. And my kids know if I'm really upset and I don't understand what they're talking about, that's the first. Explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old. I want to know. So that's always been my
one of these days. We need to bring Jason Ricks in.
Yeah,
you know Jason Ricks?
Yes, he's the one. Don't say it. Don't say it. Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Why yes, not EES? I always have to say that.
Right.
But we did a show together. He was on my industry interviews by Ira, the third show that I do. He was on. We could have went for like days. The three of us have a lot in common. You know what I mean? Like he would fit.
Yeah, bring him on. Let's bring him on.
He would fit in our little stick. So maybe
I think we should bring a couple people on. Anyways, I know it's Cup of Joe, but man, I would love to bring people on.
Yeah. So maybe we'll start doing that. So Jason, if you're up to it, So next week's going to be a little bit different for me. We haven't talked about this, but we've been quarantining. My family's been quarantined, self-quarantined
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Because you're going to go visit your in-laws.
Tomorrow we're driving up to the Bay Area, which I hate that drive, but whatever. It's just because it's so boring. There's nothing to look at the whole way. It's like you go from where I live, which I love, to through farms. It's just basically farms. But it's interesting. The Central Valley is interesting because California is a political place, and I don't want to get into the politics. I don't even want to talk about it. But one of the things that they've done is they've limited the water rights for the Central Valley. It used to be like kind of fun because you would see all the different plants. There was trees of every kind and lettuce and all this stuff. Well, now it's all like dead because there's no water. You don't have water, you don't have plants. That just is what it is. So it's really, really boring. Anyways, I hate that drive. But we're going up there. Her parents are both pushing 80. And, the longer this thing goes out, COVID-19 drags out, it's like, well, we don't know how much longer, and we're not trying to be morbid or anything, but, we don't know how much time we have or opportunities we're going to have, and we're never going to get this time back. You know what I mean? So we've been quarantining, even though it's boring to quarantine, but we're going to go up there. So next Saturday, I will be doing this from my wife's old bedroom in Saratoga.
Wow! You're taking it on the road.
A different background. I won't have this set up behind me. It'll just be, a regular room. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we could bring him in next Saturday, but I won't have my normal setup. Is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. All right. Well then.
But if that doesn't,
you'll still be able to get on, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm taking my computer and 2 of my monitors. I don't bring the big one, the 40-inch one I leave behind. But I'll have 2 of my monitors but I'm not bringing my background.
No, don't bring the background. No,
I won't have green.
All right. We want to see what Alicia's room used to look like, so that's all right. Yeah. So everybody, please join us next week. We're going to have a tour of Alicia's old bedroom, and especially the diary that she left underneath the nightstand. And
there's not the tour. The room is tiny.
Anyways, it'll be a quick tour, but we really are going to be focusing on Alicia's journal or diary that is underneath the nightstand to the right of the bed.
Do you know my wife?
I bet you that's where it is.
My wife would not have dated me in high school.
My wife wouldn't have dated me. She says that now.
We haven't talked about this a lot on this show.
But she says that right now.
Yeah.
I would not date you.
My wife probably wouldn't. My wife wouldn't date me today either. But no, she'll date me now that we're married. But I'm just saying, if we met as strangers,
right?
You're not my type. She thought when we got together, we met at a bar. Full disclosure, I think you and I've talked about this before on the show. Yep. We met at a bar. She just thought I was going to be good for a couple laughs, which I don't blame her. I'd look at me, I laugh too. So, anyways, but I am not tall. We've talked about this before. I'm 5'8" with my shoes on. If you can follow me there, right?
Gotcha.
So not tall, and my wife liked football player types. Tall, big bodied guys. I'm not that guy. I was a wrestler. I was a track guy, short and athletic, but not big and stocky. Anyways, so
gotcha.
If we were reading her journal, there would be nothing about me, even if we knew each
other.
No.
That's what I'm hoping for, folks. That's the special edition Cup of Joe Go Live version of that's what we're hoping for. Nothing about you.
We could bring my wife. We could bring my wife on anytime. In fact, her and I have joked about you guys having a show together, anyways. So.
Oh really? See, I would let Alicia talk. So.
So it would be something like, the reason why we have this show is because we're tired of Ira hogging all the airtime, guys.
No, I think that would be. I still think it's awesome that you'll be doing that outside her room. So, well, it looks like my granddaughter is not going to be coming down.
All right.
But she is not. Full disclosure, she's not feeling good. They took her to go get a COVID test yesterday to see if she has that.
It's funny that Jason says this because I really feel like in a lot of ways that's my life.
No.
Now you and I have talked about this. I don't know if we've talked about this on the show, and I don't know how much time we have because we're in overtime, right? So you tell me how much time you've got. But so
I got 5% left on my AirPods. So
all right. So I'll make this quick. when I met my wife is from Saratoga, which if you guys aren't from the Bay Area, especially the South Bay, that's like where the rich people live. You know what I mean? The affluent. That's where they live. It's like Beverly
Right.
Hills down here in LA. So the rich people live there. I grew up on the other side of the tracks. We all know that I was homeless, and I've told my story, so you guys know it. Okay. So I was very intimidated to meet her family because I don't know if you guys know what MIT is, but two of her siblings, not only went there, they graduated at top of their class at MIT. Like she comes from a family that's got they've got all the pedigree. I don't know.
I'm with you. I'm
So
following.
like in Meet the Fockers, I felt like the nurse. Remember, they kept trying to make him a doctor, and you're like, no, I'm a nurse. Remember that? Like I was a waiter from the wrong side of the tracks. I went to San Jose State, which most of you don't even know what the hell that is, and I don't blame you. But it's one of the largest colleges in California, right? It's San Jose State. I went there for music.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I just felt like there's nothing about me to impress these people. Like I am not impressive, and I still feel that way. So it is what it is. But that's my own insecurities. You can take them for what they were. But Meet the Fockers, when I saw that, to Jason's point, that's what I felt like. I really felt like this is a story of my life.
It's funny.
I wanted to be inside the circle of trust.
Right. Jen would say her dad was like Robert De Niro. He was just like that with everybody else. He met me. He became Rodney Dangerfield. It was not like that. She goes, when he first met me, we clicked. And dad, he's an amazing individual. He sold insurance. He is, I learned so much from him, as we talked about before in the green room. But I learned so much from him.
We won't talk about
it was yeah, we won't talk about everything. Uncle Milty. Anyways,
oh my gosh.
He is such a great man, but he was not like that with me. He did not look at me, and he did not try to intimidate me, nothing. He actually, after the first time I met him and he found out about my quirks, like the comic book thing, he even told me, he goes, I'll be your Alfred. I would be your Alfred. And the man has, every time he's come visit us, he cooks for me. I mean, just such a great person, but he was never, I know he wasn't like that with the other ones out there. Him and I were always close like that.
My father-in-law, first of all, I mean, he's super impressive. He grew up more like I did. He didn't have the same homeless stuff, but like when he was born was during World War II. He remembers meeting his father because they got pregnant. My wife's grandparents were married. The grandma got pregnant, and then he went off to war before the baby was born, before my father-in-law was born. So he was there for a few years. He came back, and my father, Jeff Kalb, was my father-in-law was walking and talking and all that stuff already. So he remembers like meeting his dad for the first time. I think that's kind of interesting. But so they grew up extremely poor. It was a hard time, that economy, and that, like, most people were poor, right? So hard economy. Anyways, so he went to college. He paid for it himself. He was in a co-op program, but he rose. He's an engineer. He's an electrical engineer for the just background. But he rose the ranks in the corporate world. He became a CEO of multiple companies. He retired. When I met him, he was still a CEO of a company called California Micro Devices.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, role model in almost every possible way. He's been married for 55 years. He's a self-made person. He raised a family of 6. He owns a beautiful home in one of the most affluent places in the United States. So that's why I was intimidated. But what I want to make clear, just in case I misrepresented this idea, he's a super friendly guy, down to earth, never once looked down his nose at me, never made me feel like I wasn't worthy. You know what I mean? Like the issues that I had were my own, not what he did. Now, not everybody in the family I can say that about, but my
all right. So
my in-laws have always made me feel like one of the family. I lived with them for 9 months. When we were trying to sell our house in Texas to come back to the Bay Area, I don't know if you guys remember that Hurricane Henry hit the Houston area, and the market was just dead. So we couldn't sell our home for 9 months. Well, I had started the job. I had agreed to start the job, not knowing that Hurricane Henry was going to destroy the world, right? So I moved in with them thinking it was going to be just like 30 days or something. Then my family would come out, right? It ended up being 9 months. I lived with them without anybody else. It was just me and my in-laws. You know what I mean?
Really?
So like when that happened, and that was just recently, that was, 3 years ago. When that happened, like we formed a different type of relationship, a different type of bond, which is, I understand my wife so much better because I got to see her parents in their natural state
Right.
for 9 months. You know what I mean? Like how you eat, how you shop, when you clean.
Oh, that was us too. Like, now this was prior to COVID, but we did the same thing with her mom and dad. Like, they stayed with us on there, and it was only because Dad felt, he always used to say, out of all the houses he's ever stayed at, he always felt more comfortable. Well, he had his own room. It didn't. I mean, it was great. I enjoyed having him there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed having Mom there. Mom was great too. So it was fun. I'm gonna say next week. It's funny. We talked about our in-laws. We have to make some time now. Let's reverse it, because I'll be more than happy to talk about what the shoes on. No, I'll be. Well, God, we could talk about our parents.
I'm not in-law. I'm not anybody's in-law yet, as far as
but I'll be more than happy to talk about it.
Yeah, like you
And that'll be me.
You've lived both ends. I'm
right, and I feel it's just it makes you wonder at times, because I'm really big on the respect thing. Like if somebody comes in, like I've always called. There's two things I've always called Dad. It was either Mr. Ferraro or Dad.
Yeah.
I have never ever disrespected him and called him Tony. Yeah, I think that is such a. I think that is such a.
I really don't. I struggle with that, honestly, because to me,
I was taught not to do that. I thought that was blatant disrespect.
So yeah, I wasn't really raised with that example. My parents have both been married and divorced, 4 times each, right? So
right.
I come from a different world. I don't have that, but I've always felt odd. Like I can't really do it, calling them by their first name.
No,
I also kind of feel weird calling them mom and dad. And we could talk about this, but it's almost like presumptuous. Like I don't want to presume that they feel that way about me.
Well,
I think after living with them for 9 months, I did.
How do you get more comfortable? And that's how come I don't like when my wife, like, I remember somebody. We could talk about it next week. I'm going to save it for next week. Put this down on there. We definitely. I'm going to talk about it next week. All right.
Yeah, people are fascinated by this stuff, right? I mean,
I know
we all struggle with the same things. Well, many of us struggle.
I'll be more than happy. We should. I could see my daughter and her husband will probably be tuning in. I wonder what Dad's going to say now. So this will be good. I'm going to wait for next week.
My kids do watch this show.
Well, your kids watch it just because they want to see if Batman's going to do anything. So
right? No, they like you.
I know.
They watch it because of you. We talked about
that. That's good.
Talked about that off air. Like people watch the show because of you too. It's
my God.
Not just me.
Yeah, my ugly mug on here and the comic book stuff. You're absolutely right.
Video fix was perfect.
Oh, was it? All right, good. Yeah.
Remember last week we were struggling with that a little bit.
Yes, yep, it was. I think it's now the one just went out, but I think it's really the AirPods and me not using the speaker. So I'm going to start doing that, and I got a set of AirPods just specifically for the Mac.
Yeah, so just make sure they're charged up.
Yep. But anyways, all right. It's 1:15. We've been on for an hour and 15.
Yep. We're gonna get out of here. So if you haven't seen the intro outros that I made for Joe the Finance Guy and Bowman Digital Media, that's what we start the show and end the show with. And we will see you all. Now remember, if you're on Clubhouse, you can join us an hour before the show starts every Saturday.
Yep.
And we'll be in there. We call that the green room. But really, we're goofing around. It could be anything. I can give you LinkedIn tips there if you want.
Yep.
But also, I just lost it. I was going to say something, No, I forgot it. Anyways,
You want me to? Are you talking about the LinkedIn chat or whatever? No.
Oh, no, that's what I was going to say. If you have an iPhone, but you don't have a connection, you need an invitation to join Clubhouse. Just remember, I have 3 of those right now. So
shoot one of us a DM.
Yeah, if you need one, send us a message and we'll get you that invitation so that you can join the party. That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
All right, brother. Well,
all right.
As always, my friend, talking to you is a good thing. And if you didn't know, Joe Stepke, aka Joe the Finance Guy, is also Batman. And this is what I made for him.
Yes, I am.
I made this for him for his business with Batman Batman in mind. Here we go.